Raswami Babaji, thank you for bestowing your grace on us. So, oftentimes in satsang, it's mentioned that life brings us to a point where we are given two choices, and we need to use our sense of discrimination to choose wisely. So, my question is, the efforts we make at that point, the choice that we choose, is that factored in into something that's predestined?
Beta, whatever choice you make, it is based on the influences that your mind has. Okay, so you have positive influences, you'll make the right choice. You have negative influences, the tendency is you might go on the wrong manner. So these are dependent upon the influences. No matter how much we say, our parents can teach us, somebody else can teach us, we don't learn better. Unless you don't experience for yourself. No matter how much you tell the child, avoid the fire, when you are not looking, he always puts his hands next to the fire to see whether it's hot or not. So similarly, you will learn from your experience, not from just somebody trying to teach you something. So it has to be personal experience. And we have to work towards those personal experiences for us to come to that mature level where we can make the right choices.
So, how do we know at what point to stop making efforts and leave it in the hand of God?
Effort must always be there, beta.
So,
Effort coupled with His grace, you have to make the effort. How do you know He doesn't want you to make the effort? Our making the effort is basically appreciating what He's going to do. Now, if you don't appreciate that, things are not just going to fall in your lap. If you show appreciation, automatically your effort will bear fruit. If you don't show appreciation, you're going to be left where you are.
we keep striving for it. Thank you so much, Babaji. Yes.
Awesome, Babaji. Great to see you today. 101 questions go through my head a lot. Every day I have the same thoughts, but the one thing that sits most heavily on my heart is I feel like I'm failing as a son and a disciple. And I just need some of your words. How can I redeem myself?
Because sometimes, we analyze too much. We set goals in front of us. Some are possible, some are not possible. What is important is, beta, we are objective and we try and do the right thing. Now, none of us is perfect, beta. If we were perfect, we won't be here. If we are here, it's because of our imperfections. And if we are imperfect, we are going to make mistakes. So life has been given to us to learn from those mistakes. So as long as it's a learning process, there's nothing to worry. The problem comes in that, you say sorry, do it again, say sorry, do it again, then you're not learning. So learn from life, come to that level of maturity where we understand and we are objective enough to take the right way forward.
ਰਾਧਾ ਸਵਾਮੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹੀ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੀਨਸ ਭਗਤ
ਨਹੀਂ ਬੇਟਾ, ਜੋ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਕਰੋਗੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਉਹ ਸੇਵਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਦੇਖਭਾਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਘਰ ਦਾ ਕੰਮਕਾਜ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਨੌਕਰੀ ਦੁਕਾਨਦਾਰੀ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਉਹ ਸੇਵਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਇਹਨੂੰ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਆਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੇਵਾ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਦੇਣਾ ਸਿੱਖੀਏ ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਏਵਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੋ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਦਾਇਰਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਧਰਮ ਸਥਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਜੋੜੋ।
ਓਕੇ।
Babaji. Babaji had a question about, with COVID, lots of households have been impacted with some people lost their fathers, lost their mothers, etc. And those you could say are predestined. Those deaths were predestined. They had to go like that. But in the last 12 months, there's also been other actions which you could say go against Santmat, like suicides, divorces. Those have gone up quite a lot in the last 12 months. Would you say those are also predestined or meant to happen?
No. Coming and going is in the Lord's hand. The day we have to be born and the day we go is in the Lord's hand. How we go, some people go by accident, some people go by disease, some people are healthy and go. सब कुछ हुक्मी आमदा, सब कुछ हुक्मी जाए, जे को मूर्ख आपे जाने अंधा अंध कमाए. We come with his command and we go by his command. Everything else is the choices that we make. We can choose to stay together and we can choose to divorce. We can make these choices, but then we have to bear the consequences of the choices we make. Problem with us human beings is that, with the education, we've understood our rights. But with every right comes a responsibility. We've forgotten those responsibilities. We are not willing to take those responsibilities. Individuals, companies, governments, we are all shirking our responsibility. So, real education means an awakening within you of your responsibilities and fulfilling them. Now, we sometimes want to run away. What is suicide? It's running away. Now, you have to come to terms with yourself. Good, bad, beautiful, ugly, you are what you are. The Lord has given you an opportunity. So basically what you're telling the Lord is, you're slapping him on the face and saying, I don't accept what you've given me, I know better, I'm going to make my choice. Right from the day we've come into this creation, we've exercised our right to choose, we made wrong choices, that's why we are stuck here. He's given this opportunity to us to learn. If we stay in his will, he makes the choice, then there's no karma on us. Pana manne sada sukh hoy. Thank you.
हे सच्चे पातशाह ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਕਰਾਂ ਜੋ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਕਰਾਂ
ਬੇਟਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਟਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜੇ ਉਹ ਦੇਣ ਦੀ ਤਾਕਤ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਣਨ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਤਾਕਤ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਬੇਟਾ ਕਿਆ ਮੰਗੂ ਕੁਛ ਥਿਰ ਨਾ ਰਹਾ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਕੀ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਬੇਟਾ ਬੇਟਾ ਇਹ ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਤਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਸੰਤ ਮਹਾਤਮਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਗਲਤਫਹਿਮੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਲਕ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਭਾਣਾ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਲੱਗੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜੇ ਰਾਜ ਕਰਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਉਪਮਾ ਜੇ ਭੀਖ ਮੰਗਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿਆ ਘਟ ਜਾਏ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਸਮ ਕਰ ਜਾਣ ਔਰ ਮਾਨ ਅਪਮਾਨਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸੋ ਬੇਟਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਉਠਾਣਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਭਾਣੇ 'ਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਰ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਆਪਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਾਹਨੂੰ ਆਂਸੂ ਬਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਬੇਟਾ ਜਿਸ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਲਕ ਨੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਔਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਨਿਭਾਉਣੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਾਪਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੋਂ ਰੁਕਾਵਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ
ਕੋਈ ਰੁਕਾਵਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੇਟਾ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਰਮ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਰਾਹਤ ਮਿਲ ਜੂਗੀ ਕੋਈ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਗੱਲ
Babaji, have you missed us?
ਬੇਟਾ I will miss somebody if he or she is not there or I am not there.
That's nice. Babaji, you know the sound from the left? Sometimes if that's really strong.
You keep your attention at the eye center. You forget the left and right. You just keep your attention at the eye center.
Okay. And something that's been keeping me going is something you said, it's only what pleases him, O Nanak. So could you tell us are you things that please you?
No, beta, there's no question of pleasing me. The idea is to stay in his will. I've got nothing to do with it. So, and that life's experience will teach you. As you mature, as you experience, you will slowly realize that from within. I think we are getting too used to this spoon feeding. What shall I do? Tell me what will happen, this, that, and all. But the idea of the master is not to create a dependency. It is to help us to stand on our own feet. Okay, so he's not going to tell you anything. He's only going to guide you towards that self-experience, which will then become the basis of your understanding, not give you easy answers.
Okay. So just keep doing the practice and
Experience will give you better. Experience teaches the young to be old and the old to be young. That's what will take you to maturity. That is what will give you the right answers.
have you got any advice for me in my meditation at all?
Just do it with an earnest mind, with all the love.
Thank you.
Babaji Radha Swami. Babaji, thank you very much for getting me up over here. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੜੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। Babaji, ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਕ question ਹੈਗਾ। If you get your, ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਰਹਿਮਤ ਕਰੋ at a very late stage in life, will you be able to attain salvation?
ਬੇਟਾ ਤੀਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਕਿਸ ਉਮਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਬੇਟਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ?
ਕਾਫੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੋ ਗਏ।
ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਬੇਟਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਉਮਰ ਦਾ ਤਕਾਜ਼ਾ ਨਹੀਂਗਾ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੀ ਗਹਿਰਾਈ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੀ ਗਹਿਰਾਈ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਇੰਟੈਂਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ।
ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਾਮ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਵੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੈਲਵੇਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ।
ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ 5 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਚ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਗਹਿਰਾਈ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ।
ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਿਓ ਕਿ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਵਾਂ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਰਾਧਾ ਸਵਾਮੀ।
Radha Swami. Maharaji, for most of my life as a satsangi, I've always been asking when will the inner veils be lifted? But recently I really have come to accept and feel grateful that you've not lifted those veils, because I know I wouldn't have been able to contain that love and that bliss, and I wouldn't have completed my karma. But in the wanting, there's a yearning, there's a longing, and the path is traveled by longing. And in the accepting and the gratitude, I don't feel that same longing.
Sister, when we get into the when, where, I can't understand. Where do you have to go? Nowhere. You're there. You just have to realize it. So the problem is that our mindset has been created in that manner that we are always constantly seeking something, constantly demanding something, constantly desiring something. The fact is that it is there. You just have to realize it. That is why spirituality, there's nothing to do. It's a realization. When we say self-realization before God realization, you just have to realize who you are, what you are, and everything else will happen automatically. Now, this intellect of ours, complicates our life, takes us around in circles. Today, in life, if there's somebody puts something very simple in front of you, you will never appreciate it. He gives you something complicated which you don't understand at all. You will say, wow, what a great philosophy. What do you have to do? Nothing. You have to just sit down, empty your mind, and be happy. That's all you need to do. Now that we find difficult in doing, but if I said you have to climb mountains, put yourself upside down, you have to sort of go on your elbows and scratch yourself and all that pain and suffering, that we can understand. So it's a very simple process. Being, just being. This word human being, learning to be, being human, learning to appreciate. And if you are able to do that, just being, you've got it.
So if we accept his will, that we are where we are, and he's going to give us everything.
That's it. Maharaji used to give us the beautiful example that if you want to collect rainwater, you must have a tumbler in your hand or you must have a vessel in your hand. And that vessel must be face up. If it's upside down, you can't collect anything. If the vessel is dirty, whatever you collect will become dirty. So what is our responsibility? Receptive, and vessel should be clean. That's all we need to do. It's not our duty to fill it, he will fill it.
So where does longing come in?
Receptivity. Being receptive. Until you sort of don't appreciate it, where are you going to get it? And it's not even going to get it, it's already there. But it's just passing you by because you don't know what it is.
Rasan Papi. Papi, ਮੇਰਾ question ਹੈ destiny ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ put couple of parts of it ਇਹਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਜਨਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੋਕਸ਼ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ
ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ
and the second part is ਕਿ is it predestined ਕਿ ਕਦੋਂ somebody will be going back to ਮੁਕਾਮੇ ਹੱਕ
ਬੇਟਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਮਾਲਿਕ ਨੇ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੈ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਭੇਜਤਾ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮੁਨਸਰ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਫੁੱਲਫਿਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਓਗੇ ਮਗਰ ਕਾਨੂੰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਲੰਘਣਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੋਝ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਰਫ਼ਤਾਰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਊਗੀ ਲਕਸ਼ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਮਗਰ ਰਫ਼ਤਾਰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਸਾਡੀ
The third part is like ਕਿ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ disciple ਦੀ spiritual progress ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ destiny tweak ਕਰਦੇ ਜਾਂ
ਡੈਸਟੀਨੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਕਰਮੀ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਕੇ ਦੂਰ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਕਰਮ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਡੈਸਟੀਨੀ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਿਰਭਰ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਰਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀਤੇ ਉਹ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਡੈਸਟੀਨੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬਦਲ ਜੂਗੀ
ਨਹੀਂ what I mean to say is like suppose somebody is for spiritual progress like suppose giving him fastening his process of going through the karmas or slowing it down
ਬੇਟਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਗਹਿਰਾਈ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਊਂਗਾ ਮਗਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੌਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਜੇ ਕਰਮ ਛੇਤੀ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਕਰਮ ਖਤਮ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਮਗਰ ਛੇਤੀ ਖਤਮ ਕਰਵਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਵਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਮਗਰ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਹ ਦੇਣਾ ਪਊ
and sometimes you used to say Kihan, if you play your cards right you can do
win the
things
game
win the game but suppose somebody meant to have like 1,000 pounds or something just to say an example कि उन्हें 1,000 per मिलना like if he doesn't pay properly so that means he won't get that
he will get it but he will lose it
okay
ਜੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ 'ਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਜੇ ਕਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਬਰਬਾਦ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਖਬਾਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੀ 10 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੀ ਇੰਨੇ ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੀ ਲੋਟਰੀ ਖੁੱਲੀ ਮਗਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ 2 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੌਜਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਔਰ ਦੂਜਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਾ ਲਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਤਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਬਰਬਾਦ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਹਿ ਗਏ
thank you Papa for everything thank you
Radha Swami Babaji, how can non-initiates build spirituality in their day-to-day lives and make that their focus?
Be good human beings, beta. Learn to be. That's the foundation. I mean, even to be on the spiritual path, it's essential to be good human beings, to be sharing, to care. So until you don't have that foundation, what are you going to build on? When you can't sort of say that, in the 24 hours, I'm going to indulge myself, do all sorts of things in the rest of the 22 hours and think that in the 2 hours I'm going to get my attention back. So everything has to reflect that.
And how can we prepare for initiation?
I don't think so we can prepare for initiation. We just have to sort of better learn to appreciate. First, go in with your eyes open, understand, and then work towards it better.
Thank you.
I mean, it's like a child saying, how do I prepare for school? What can he prepare? He's going to go to school to learn. How can he prepare to learn?
Thank you.
Babaji, I hope this comes out right. There comes a point in your spiritual journey where you kind of feel like you're losing yourself and you're losing your personality and you're getting more attached to what you're supposed to do. And you can't explain it to anybody. does there come a point where you have to act like a character because nobody understands you anymore?
I agree with you, beta. You know, right from the day we are born and we start walking and talking, we are told to create an identity for ourselves. You know, we are told that you should not just be known by the name of your father, your grandfather, your religion, or your culture, but create a name for yourself. And then you come across a spiritual path which says identity. What identity? You have no identity. So it becomes a total contradiction in a sense. What identity does a little drop of water have against the ocean? What identity are we talking about? If the drop merges into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. What has it lost? It has gained everything. The ability of that little drop is very limited. A little bit of dirt will be reflected in that. But if it merges into the ocean has the capacity to merge that dirt and make it as pure as itself. So I agree with you. It's a total contradiction in nowadays, you know, where everybody tells you, think for yourself, talks about individual, what about what I want? Arey, what is it that I want? Do I know that? I don't. Right from the beginning, I've been wanting things, and if my life is still in disaster zone, which means I've wanted the wrong things. So am I mature enough to actually know what I want and that I should get it? That is why, beta, when we read the scriptures, thy will be done. Tera pana meetha lage. He knows better. And if he knows better, and if we can appreciate what he's done and learn to stay in his will, isn't that better for us? Rather than putting our sort of thoughts forward and our limited thought process and think this will be good for me or this will be good for me.
So should we just not be concerned with anybody else, strive on what we're doing?
You have to learn to live with yourself better. If you are comfortable with yourself, it doesn't make a difference what people say. But if you are not comfortable with yourself, if you are weak, then everything that everybody says will affect you.
Thank you, Sur.
राधा स्वामी बाबा जी मेरे पूरे परिवार की तरफ से आपको धन्यवाद। आपने इतना कुछ दिया, बट बाबा जी फिर भी दुनिया में सब कुछ है, वट एवर वी वॉन्ट वी हैव, बट फिर भी खुशी नहीं है, एक फेलियर का एहसास है। वट इज फेलियर इन द लाइफ?
बेटा, सबसे पहले तो आपने खुद ही उसका जवाब दे दिया कि दुनिया में सब कुछ है। अगर आप सोचती हैं कि पैसे के साथ, औहदे के साथ, रिश्ते नातों के साथ खुशी मिलेगी, ये आपकी गलतफहमी है। खुशी आपको अंदर से मिलेगी। ये ठीक है कि जिंदगी गुजारने के लिए पैसा भी चाहिए, मगर कितना? कोई थोड़ा सा अपने सोसाइटी में थोड़ी सी जान पहचान हो, जिंदगी गुजारनी आसान हो जाती है, मगर कितनी ताकत? तो पहले तो एंड्स और मीन्स को देखें। अगर इंसान इन चीजों के पीछे भागता है, वो सोचता है कि इन चीजों से उसको खुशी मिलेगी, पैसे से खुशी मिलेगी, औहदे से खुशी मिलेगी, उनसे नहीं खुशी मिलेगी। उनसे जिंदगी आसान हो जाती है जिसके साथ। सो जो असल लक्ष्य है वो तो पीस ऑफ माइंड और हैप्पीनेस है ना।
हाँ जी, वो
और
खुशी क्या है?
वो अंदर से मिलेगी बेटा, बाहर से नहीं। जब तक आप अंतर ध्यान होकर अंदर से नहीं खोज करेंगे बेटा, बाहर से नहीं खुशी मिलेगी। और जब अंदर से खुशी मिल गई, ना पैसे का फर्क पड़ेगा, ना ओहदे का फर्क पड़ेगा, ना किसी और की सोच का फर्क पड़ेगा बेटा।
एंड फेलियर्स, व्हाट इज फेलियर इन लाइफ?
फेलियर इज द रोड टू सक्सेस। अगर फेलियर नहीं होगा, सीखूंगा कैसे मैं? कदर ही नहीं होगी।
तो समटाइम्स फेलियर्स इतना अफेक्ट करती हैं कि हम आगे बढ़ ही नहीं पाते।
नहीं, अगर आप सीखोगे नहीं फिर अफेक्ट करेंगे। अगर सीखोगे उससे, जिसने कभी फेलियर नहीं देखा, उसको कदर ही नहीं हो सकती सक्सेस की।
Is there anything like failure, whatever we want to achieve?
There is nothing called failure.
So there is
It's a learning process.
Okay.
जब बच्चा चलना सीखता है, वो कई बार गिरता है। अगर उसको फेलियर मान के बैठ जाए, वो कभी नहीं तुर पाएगा। मगर वो सोचेगा, अच्छा मैं क्यों गिरा, मेरे को सहारा चाहिए, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता चलेगा भी और भागेगा भी। जिंदगी मालिक ने दी है सीखने के लिए। सीखो जिंदगी से। अगर सीखोगे तो it becomes part of the learning process. It is not failure.
Thank you very much for motivating Babaji.
Radha Swami Babaji. My question is basically I use prayer beads during the day to do Simran. Is that a good thing to use? No.
It has to be done in a natural manner. When you do something during the day, do you need some beads to remind you?
It just keeps it rolling. That's
Huh?
the only thing.
So then what is your control, bhai? If for everything that we do, we need an assistance, then I have become bound by that. No? I've become a slave to that. If I love my children, do I need situations or I need reminding or I need something to roll to express my love or go through that emotion?
No, I understand. The other bit is in a family, you got members who are initiated and who are not initiated. Is it a good idea to persuade them to get initiated, or should we just allow them to just
No.
take their time?
You should let everybody make his own mind. Create a conducive environment, but then it has to be their choice. If it is their choice, they will walk the path, they will be able to fulfill. But if they've been forced into something, they will never take it seriously.
And finally, it's very difficult these days to bring children to satsang. You know, they have their own minds, they want to do everything themselves. I mean, how can we, again, get them to follow this path?
Be good examples. Just be good examples. If you're a good example, and you see, for the children, the parents are always an ideal. Consciously or subconsciously, they are watching you. And eventually they will see where did our parents draw their strength from? And they will turn towards that. But if you force them, then a reaction takes place. Never force them.
Thank you.